Alright, yo man, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Demon. I'm back with another video. And oh my goodness, that Raptors game just went ultra crazy. And they won in overtime 124 to 119 because this has pretty much been ridiculous. Like, I'm going to explain this game from start to finish. Basically, the first quarter, Raptors pretty much stumbling as they used their stars and weren't getting them any possession. Then the second quarter came along, it was basically the same thing. They're down by about 6 or 10 points, if I remember. And they're still down by a bit, and it was probably about a 13-point deficit. And in the third quarter, they made some runs here and there, and they made a run the group. And he basically was showing some grouse here and there, but the third quarter is relatively close. And Nick Nurse, honestly, though the stars weren't really contributing much, I think the bench has really held it down. You look for Nick Nurse use the third quarter. Basically, the third quarter is relatively close, and the stars and the bench basically for the mix them held it down a little bit. And basically was relatively close. Then in the fourth quarter, when Nick Nurse held it down, he basically just said, look, you know what? It's a preseason, let me start some rest and just put a bench out there, and the bench just went absolutely crazy. They basically came back 19 down in the fourth quarter with about 8 or 10 minutes, and I know they couldn't hit a shot. They basically made 3 threes start the game, and they started hitting threes in the fourth quarter, and they basically just came back down from there. They went on like an 11-0 run, then they basically scored a couple more buckets, and then they tied the game basically at whatever it was a piece, and then they just went on a run and basically just went to overtime. Then in overtime, the Raptors just basically stomped the Celtics down their foot, and they basically just used their bench as the preseason anyways. But I think the bench unit pretty much came together as a unit, like guys like Josh Jackson, guys like Delano Banton, guys like Gabe Brown, guys like Jeff Doughton, guys like Ken Burch. They all came together in that unit at the end of the game, was pretty much good, along with DJ Wilson as well. The Raptors bench unit plays pretty much relatively well together, and I didn't think they'll do any better, but I think for their bench, they pretty much came alive when they needed them, and they outscored the Boston bench, which is pretty good. But the Boston bench basically they were just getting shooters basically out there. There are guys like Peyton Pritchard and others that were just going crazy in the first half. And the Raptors just basically made in-game adjustments, and they basically fixed it to their own standards. So I think the Raptors, honestly, they pretty much had a relatively good game. And in overtime, they just basically continued what they had from the fourth quarter. And the Celtics missed a couple of shots, and they basically just ran away with the game. Guys like Josh Jackson, Jeff Doughton, DJ Wilson, Ken Burch, Gabe Brown, that closing lineup, they literally just played all together as a unit, and basically, they're not even like the role players. They're basically third reserve players. So I think the Raptors played together, and the Stars played pretty much relatively well, like separately, individually, but other group are pretty much iffy. But let's go over the box score here. But yeah, that was a long game. So I'm going all over the place, but this game is exciting. If you all want to see more highlights of the game, make sure you check my TikTok, because I will be posting on TikTok about every Raptors stuff. So make sure you check my TikTok, please, because I'm trying to get there. Yeah, basically the final score is 125 to 119. And basically for the game, Pascal, like I said, he scored 13. Like I said, he scored about 10 or 20. Trent got you 9, Scotty got you 8, OG got you 10, Fred got you 7, Precious just played nice and got you 13. Precious, Achiuwa, and Josh Jackson basically led away with 13 points each, and basically was even in the rebounding end, as Precious, Achiuwa got 7 rebounds, and Josh Jackson got 2, and Ken Burch played pretty well with 10 points. DJ Wilson had 9, Juancho got you nothing. Christian played very well. Christian Koloko, though he wasn't in the closing lineup, he was like about some sprouts of the lineup, he played very well. Like, he basically got blocks, he has 3 of 3 from the field. Christian Koloko played very well for a time being. Gabe Brown, this guy, honestly, the way he scored 5 points, he pretty much got you some nice buckets, and I think, honestly, he'll be a good place in the G League, though he won't make the Raptors roster, and he played pretty much relatively well. Thaddeus Young played okay. Delano Banton got you 6 points, and Otto Porter Jr., Malachi Flynn, and Justin Penny didn't play, and Ron Harper Jr. didn't play, and that's pretty much decent. And the Celtics, honestly, the only guy that went off basically was Jaylen Brown with 23 points, Derek White, Sam Harcer, this guy, the demon, just basically pulling 3 down, and basically Peyton Pritchard, those guys were just annoying. But the Celtics, relatively just a bit of the reserves and just Jaylen Brown going off. And yeah, and let's break down the team stats here. Raptors started the game there. Basically, they basically could not hit threes. They're basically like 3 of 22 from the three-point line. But they basically fixed it and got to 7 of 22. That basically made to about 21% from 3. But that's not why they won the game. The reason why they won the game is scoring inside. They got to the field goal on a good 45%. And they basically scored 50 field goals out of the 109 shots they took. And they basically got their free throw line 25 times, and they got at a 72% rate. And the Celtics got their free throw line basically about a bit less, but the Raptors got their free throw line more, so I think I'll give the Raptors out. And the Raptors, again, they got about 59 rebounds. They got 60 rebounds the last game, and they got 59 today, and they out-rebounded the Celtics. That's pretty good. And they basically got 6 steals, and they got and they basically turnovers are pretty much there, but they scored 72 points in the paint, and yeah, pretty much how the game rounds out, and yeah, that's pretty much the game, and basically how the quarter breakdown. Basically, the Raptors in the first quarter are pretty much okay. They were down by 5 at 22-27. Then in the second quarter, the Celtics went off, and they went on like a 24-35 scoring output in the second, and basically in the third quarter, pretty relatively close, and the fourth quarter is pretty much relatively. The Raptors just went on a run in the fourth quarter, and then overtime, the Raptors sealed the game and just basically got their margin of victory. And basically, everyone came together as a unit, and that's really what I gotta say for the Raptors. And they played pretty relatively well as a unit, and they basically have a lot of trust and play in their bench unit, because their bench unit pretty much played together for a third string lineup, and the Celtics were pretty much at their bench lineup, but they couldn't really have no response. But I think the Raptors are 2-0 this preseason. That's very good, and they came back 19 down, so that's very great for the Raptors to have, and that's all my preseason game thoughts for the Celtics versus Raptors. And if y'all want more preseason videos, let me know, and I'll for sure do it. And it's your boy Demi, and I'm out. Have a great birthday, y'all. If this mic is a bit iffy, because I just pulled out this mic to just basically talk to you guys, and I'm out. Have a great day, y'all. Peace.